Well, hey everyone, we are back this week with some shares, some WIPS, some finished projects, and of course, our temperature blanket update. So first we're gonna start with our shares. I have my notes here, so I have to look at my notes. First up is Sandy. Now Sandy did not do a temperature blanket, but she did one of my other tutorials, like on how to do the lavender flower. She crocheted a flower arrangement for her grandson's teacher for the end of the year, and it's just beautiful. She wanted to make sure that the teacher knew how much she was appreciated and how special she really is. Nowadays, teachers are a valuable commodity. So just look at how pretty this is. She followed a few people's different tutorials to make these, but she used my lavender, so I feel special too. Thank you, Sandy, for sharing. Next, we have Sheila and Sean, husband and wife team here, and they're each making their own blanket. Sean, his is the high and the low for 2 days a week, and he's doing this all by himself, and it looks fantastic. Sheila's is gorgeous too. She has used all of her colors now already so early in the year. Who would have thought? You know, that happened to me where I was one color away, and it was, I think, in May when I hit that, of having one more color. And now I'm looking at it, especially like for my birth year one, I'm gonna have to order more yarn because it's using a whole lot of the same two colors, and this yarn just isn't going very far. So I'm not real thrilled about that. But anyways, so Sheila, she has used all her colors so far. And of course, at the time that she sent her email with the pictures, they were in the middle of a heat wave. And it's like, join the club. I think we're all in the middle of a heat wave. But Sheila and Sean, I love your blankets. They look great. They just look fabulous. Then we have Julia. She is making a wrap, and she told me the name of the person who's like a crochet along she's following. But I can't pronounce it. And I don't want to butcher it. I'm not even going to give it a try. So if I remember, I will put that person's name here on the screen. And yeah, I'm not good with foreign pronunciations. But she's using several types of yarn. She's mixing them all up. DKs, fingering, cottons, wools. She's mixing them all together. But just look at how pretty this is. And every month they do a different stitch. And she also said they're in the middle of a heat wave. What do you do? I mean, it's just crazy. Heat wave central. Okay, so that's our shares. Now, if you would like to share your project with us, usually it's temperature blankets, but I don't mind the other ones too. I mean, I think that flower arrangement is gorgeous. I mean, I have my own sunflowers sitting over here to the side of me, so the flower arrangements are just great. So next, we have our finished projects. And I'm sure some of you are like faithful and watch every video, and some of you guys watch ones that just interest you, which is fine. So, and some of you just may not have seen them yet. So we have 3 finished projects, and 2 of them have tutorials. One I did not do a tutorial, but I do have a pattern available in my Etsy shop. So the first thing that we finished this week was the baby lamb filet crochet blanket. And like I said, that pattern is available in my Etsy shop. I still got to work in my ends, so it's not 100% complete, but we're getting there. Just a lot of stuff going on. Then we made some bucket hats. I did a tutorial on this. It's a granny stitch bucket hat, starting off with the granny circle. I did it in greens and I did it in purples. So this one I made a little bit longer than the other one. I explained that in the video, but these are fun and quick to make. And what great gifts they would make. Easy to do. I used the, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. And so I had two different skeins. I had the solid and then I had the, they call it a print, but the variegated, or the color changes aren't long enough to be considered like self-striping. But so I had the solid and the variegated, and from those two skeins, you could probably get 2 complete hats. I mean, that doesn't take a lot of yarn, and you could probably knock it out in hour to an hour and a half, 2 hours if you crochet slow. Me, I like to just relax. I'm not rushing to get anything made. I just take my time, and hopefully I don't make any mistakes that I have to go back and fix. Then the other thing that we did, I had some viewers asking because they like my star granny square that I did. They were asking if I could do a crescent moon. Now this one I made just a couple of days ago. And what had happened is I woke up super early in the morning. I was very tired the night before, so I went to bed early, which is a big no-no because then I'm up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to sleep. Once I wake up, I'm done. I'm toast. I cannot go back to sleep. So I was up and everybody was sleeping and I was trying to find something quiet to do. So I sat back in my little button room where I make my buttons for my other Etsy shop. And I was just playing with, let me see how I can do this and make it come out to the same size. So the star, I had to make another one because I used my stars for the messenger bag. And I used a 5.5 millimeter hook for that one. So I had to get the moon to come out to the same size. So I tried the 5.5 millimeter and it didn't fit. It was a little, I'm trying to remember. It was a little bit too big. Same stitch count for the top of the rows, but it was a little too big. So then I decided, well, let me do a star with a 5 millimeter instead of a 5.5, and I still couldn't get it to work. So then I did the moon with a 6 millimeter, if I'm remembering right. I know it was only a couple days ago, but you know, there's so much going on. I can't keep track. So I'm pretty sure I used 6 millimeter. So the 6 millimeter on the moon and the 5.5 on the star, they came out like perfect, just perfect. So if you were wanting to make something together with moons and stars, now if I come up with with clovers and hearts, we can have a Lucky Charm blanket. Those are my finished projects. And then I have, I have so much going on, it's not even funny. And these I have to fix because I did my last round wrong. Now I could let it go and leave it like that, but it looks so much better the other way. It's just, you know, I get going on granny squares and you can whip right through them. And I was watching TV, so I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. And I was doing it like an assembly line. The first round is this color, the second round is this color. So I'd make up all the ones I needed with the first round. Then I'd go back and do every one of them with the second round, and then the third round, and then that final round, I messed up on. So I have to pull out the final round on all these squares and fix it. But I'll show you what I have so far that all need to be fixed. That's quite this little stack. Whoops, I even missed one. So they all need to be fixed. And this is my bamboo fair yarn that I just got. It's so nice to work with. But anyways, this last round, I was supposed to do back loop only with these single crochets, and I did both. So I'm afraid if I don't fix it, I won't get the drape that I'm looking for. And so I'm going to undo it and fix it. Now, fortunately, I was working ends in as I went, but on that last round, I didn't work the ends in on all of them. So I just have a small quantity that the ends were worked in. And then all of these will be easy to pull out that last round and just recrochet it. So, and that was when I was working in those ends, because I didn't want to end up with my, 70 whatever squares. I didn't want to end up with those and have all those ends to do. So I was trying to do it as I went. And then when I was doing the last round, I was just like, oh, I'll just go back and do all of those because it's one string on each of them. So I was like, I'll go back and do that. So when I was doing it, that's when I realized, oh no, I did that last round wrong. And of course, it was on every single one. Ooh. Why? Because we get excited and we're not paying attention. And then my other project that I'm working on was, this one is a requested pattern. So we came up with this one, and I'm using my Premier Basics DK that I just got, which I thought was a great price. You know, and it's funny because I was thinking about this earlier. Whenever any of us come on our channels and we are making our projects and we're telling you what we used for the project, you know, whether it's a hook, what type of yarn, stitch, whatever. But it kind of bothers me. Not that I don't want to tell you what I'm using. I like telling you what I'm using in case you want to do yours, like you really like that color and you want to be able to get that specific color or whatever. It bothers me that these companies are getting free advertising out of how many different YouTubers, you know, content creators here on YouTube that do crocheting. And, you know, some are affiliates and some are not. And it really bugs me because they do have affiliate programs, but if you're not a big enough channel, you can't get into their affiliate program. So in the meantime, they get all this free advertising out of you. And I just happen to really like, for a budget yarn, I really like the Premier Basics. Now this was my first time using their DK, and I like it just as much as I like the worsted. But I was just like, you know, how many content creators send business to these different companies and they don't even get a thank you? You know, if it wasn't for some, especially some of these bigger content creators that have like a huge following, and if they say, oh, this is the best hook I've ever used, a lot of their viewers are going to run over and try and buy that particular hook or whatever the case is. So it bothers me that some people can be an affiliate and some people can't, because we're all doing the same thing. And for example, when I did my Wednesday Addams vest, that is, for my crocheting videos, that is my best performing video. It's had like 85,000, something like that views. And the yarn I was using, I got at Hobby Lobby. Now, how many people that watched that video ordered that particular yarn from Hobby Lobby? They get the sale, they get all the profits, and hopefully the person that watched my video and took my recommendation was a satisfied customer from Hobby Lobby. But does Hobby Lobby say thank you? No. Do they send a coupon or anything? No. So I can only shop there when they're on sale, and it's too far out of the way, so I don't get to go that often, even though I do like their yarn. I don't like that they have shrunk their yarn section, but I do like their yarn. But anyways, my point was, even bringing this up, was for those of us who don't meet the criteria of being an affiliate for places like Premier or Lion Brand is another one. If you refer a friend with a referral link, you earn reward points. So I'm going to put my refer a friend referral link in the description. I might even pin it in the comments. But if you think that you're going to order yarn from Premier, if you go to their website through my link that I provide, I will earn reward points, and that can help me purchase the yarn so that I can continue to make the videos, because we all know yarn is not cheap. And it costs a lot. All right, enough with that rant. So this is my other project I'm making. Hopefully it shows through there. This was requested. And I don't know, it doesn't, on my side of the screen, it doesn't look like the color's showing up real good. But it's a very, very pretty sage green. And a very light, and it kind of looks better over here on this side than it does over there. But it's a very light green, and it feels so squishy when you work with it. But I haven't gotten very far. I started this on, I want to say Wednesday evening. Worked on it a little bit on Thursday. Friday, I didn't get to touch it because I was catching up on my temperature blankets, and I haven't got to touch it yet today, other than to just share it with you. So I finished with those 2 sittings of being able to work on it. I finished the first section, and I'm just starting into the second section of it. And there's going to be 4 sections of those puppies. And so far it's going really smooth, knock on wood. I don't want to have to do frogging this time. So, but it's, I think it's coming out quite lovely. Okay, so now we need to do our temperature blankets. But before I do that, I just wanted to mention, again, I think I started to say it and never finished what I was saying. If you want to share your project, I'll put my email link in here, or you can find it in the description down below, and you just shoot me an email with your project and give me a little information on it, what I can share, what I can't share, and I will be thrilled to death to share your project, whatever it might be, with everybody. And we all like seeing other people's works because it gives us ideas. It helps us out. So let me move this stuff out of my way. I have my nice little rolly cart right here. And on the bottom shelf is my temperature blankets. All right, so we'll start with birth year. And you know what? I see red. Ooh. Trying to lift it up. Do you see the red? 2 days. We got to use the red. And that was going to be our last color, but I ordered another color in case we topped the 100-degree mark. I know in the birth year, we did not touch the 100-degree mark. And for the whole year, there's only going to be 1 more day that we get to use the red on the birth year. So this is weeks 24 and 25, and we spent week 24, the entire week, between 92 and 94 degrees, the whole week. That's my birth year. And then week 25, we spent 2 days in the low 90s. Then we hit 96. Then we dropped down to 94. And then we went to 95. And then 91 and 89. So the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 days it was do a row, change color, do a row, change color, do a row, change color for the whole 5 days. So most of the week, or the most of the 2 weeks, was this rust. And then we got to add the red. Oh, I see red. Okay, so that was birth year. Current year, have to be careful because my yarn is still attached because we don't know what's next. Current year, well, it's not a whole lot going on, not a whole lot different from the birth year. So the first week, week 24, we started off at 89 degrees and we ended the week at 93 degrees. So 2 colors for the whole week. Cognac and rust. And then week 25, we started the week off at 89 degrees. We ended the week at 92, but we did a little bit of bouncing. So we did 1 color change, and then for 3 days, the same color, and then change. And the last 2 days of the week were the same color. So it was rust and cognac. So up next will be the side-by-side views, and as usual, birth year will be on the left, current year on the right, and they are pretty much looking the same. I mean, not exactly, but we are stuck in a rut with these colors right now. And in case you're wondering, Toby is in the other room for a timeout because he's vicious. I have wounds all over me, especially my legs. He's not quite big enough to jump up to your lap, so when he tries, it goes, and I have all these little scratches and holes in my legs. When I got out of the shower today, I doused my legs with peroxide. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I have him in the other room so I can have a break. Okay, so that's my big share for the 2 weeks. My up temperature blankets, my finished projects, my 2 WIPS that I have going on, and of course my little rant. I do apologize if I offended anybody, but so I just had to get that off my chest, you know. Sometimes you just have to. So on that note, I will bid you farewell and see you over here in the next video.